Hello.
Hello, Nithya. How are you?
I'm very fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Thank you. So, welcome to Bollywood Bubble. And
Thank you.
your upcoming series Breathe is going to premiere on 10th of July, the second season. So, if you could tell us about briefly about what's going to be like in the second season and what the viewers can expect.
Well, it is a very gritty sort of psychological thriller. It has in the similar vein as the first season was, but it's a completely different show altogether. It's not a continuation of the previous one or anything. But yeah, the main theme is, as you've seen from the teasers and everything, what very ordinary couple, a mom and dad, the kind of bizarre and surreal and extraordinary circumstances they're put in to sort of just protect a child is what the entire series is about.
Okay. And if you could tell us a little bit about your character that you play in the series.
So my character is Abha Sabarwal. I'm playing Abhishek's character's wife. And the character it starts off, of course, as being a mother of a child, and how a person would respond if a child went missing and is not to be seen and stuff like that, into very, very, the writing is just fantastic for Breathe. So it goes into so many different spaces that you wouldn't expect these people to go into, or you won't expect these characters to do these things. So I think there'll be like twists and turns everywhere. And what I love about the character is that it's not one-dimensional. It's not just a mother or something like that. It goes beyond it. It gives me so much scope to perform.
Okay. And parenthood is one thing that, apart from the joys and happiness, it also gives a person the fighter instinct, and it also somewhat increases their threshold to pain or their tolerance level also. And as is the case with this character in the second season, that a parent goes to lengths for their child. So did you borrow heavily from your personal experience, or did you borrow any trait from your parents to act this part?
No, because I remember that being quite a intense experience for me, because I've always gone very strongly with what I have experienced and what I know, and I can understand most emotions and most things and what I'm performing. But here I was asked to give a performance about something that was so surreal to me. I didn't understand. And when I thought about it, if I was actually in this situation, oh my God, nobody knows how you're going to react unless you have that situation. We can imagine, but we don't know what's going to happen to us, or how we're going to react. So I had to give a performance from a place where I wasn't sure, am I being real? I really, for me, being authentic is very important for every character. So it was quite an intense experience. I kept trying to think of what it would be like if that happened to me, and all of that. So it was to follow that character's graph, and sort of it was going into all kinds of up and down and this and that, and it was all surreal. So I had to pretty much put a lot of myself into it.
Okay. And you are a multifaceted artist, as in you pursue different art forms, from drawing to music and of course the craft of acting. So I would want to know if there's a lot of cross wiring between these art forms, and if yes, how do one art form enhances the other?
I don't know. I've never thought about it, whether it crosses each other, but I don't know if it enhances, or I don't know. I'm not sure. It's just something that I can do, that I just do sort of very naturally. But I don't think, I don't know. Maybe I can't see any connection, or that music can enhance my acting, or maybe few things do make a difference. For example, the fact that I can easily learn languages is quite useful for acting, for example, because I can do any language and I can also pick up very quickly. So even if I'm not doing something in Hindi, the minute I come and I start shooting, in about, like few days, I'll just get into the thing and I'll start speaking Hindi very, very, fluently.
So music kind of gives you the rhythm.
Music, I don't know about music, but this does. Languages, that helps.
Okay. And sometimes it happens that few characters are so distressing and exhausting to your mind that it kind of disturbs your inner peace. So how you heal yourself emotionally once you have acted the part, and once everything is done and you are back to your normal life?
Pretty much you have to do that healing process on a daily basis. Like, I go back to my room after shoot, I make something I do which, I wind down. I have a very long shower, or I, eat something that I really like. Something I do that, like somewhere refreshes me a little bit and makes me, like remember that this is me, this is my life, and my life is beautiful. So that I do. And once shoot is over, of course, I don't work, round the clock all year round. I take a lot of big breaks. So when I take months of breaks sometimes, that's my way of recuperating, because I so intensely give to a performance that I become quite emotionally empty, like drained. I'm so tired that I can't even, get up or do anything. I become that. And that's not physically drained, that's emotionally drained. So then I just spend time. I obviously pick a beautiful house and make sure my house has a lot of plants, a lot of nature around it, So I just spend time just being. I don't do anything I can do that for months on end if I'm tired. Like, I'll just stay in bed. I'll just, do the things I like. I'll never put any pressure on myself to do anything when I'm on breaks. That's very necessary for an actor if you want to again come back with, energy.
Okay. And are you also into traveling? Do you like traveling to explore more into the world, as well as different cultures and art forms that ultimately help or enhance your craft in cinema?
I do like traveling. I don't get to do it so much because of work, but it's not just, like as a way of enhancing the craft, but of course, traveling, acting is not specifically some kind of talent that was taught to me. Acting is sort of coming from an experience, from different experiences, from knowledge, from wisdom, and these kind of emotional intelligence and stuff. So when you travel, when you meet different people, and when you do that, you get refreshed, you get more information. So that somewhere widens your horizon a little bit. So acting, to be an actor, you can never be static in the same place all the time. You need to keep growing, otherwise you'll start becoming boring.
Okay. And if you talk about your craft, so do you like to go prepared, by the book, fully prepared to the set, that to the point that you don't get any surprises while shooting, or you go with with your instinct? Like, do you play spontaneity over it?
I just go and spontaneously. In fact, most of the time, in the morning of the shoot, I have no idea how I'm going to play this character. Like, I'll be like, how have you thought about it? I would not have thought about it. I would have but that's also because the minute I hear a narration, that's just done in my head. It's set. I already know what the character, how I'm going to play it, what it is. I see everything in my head. So I don't really think so much. I just go on set and it just happens spontaneously.
Okay. And, sometimes it also happens that, a character has lasting impressions on a person, on an actor, in the absence of a proper recovery method. And so it's a classic case wherein the art dents the artist. And we have seen that unfortunately happening with an actor of a caliber like Heath Ledger. So do you see this thing as an occupational hazard into the field of acting?
Not at all. I don't think, even with Heath Ledger, I don't think it was his characters that made him whatever. It is who they are personally. No character can push you to do something, very that bad unless you are yourself making those decisions. I'm not a method actor, so I don't really carry the character so strong. I can differentiate between the character and me because I'm so different from most of these characters, and my life is very, very strongly built, around what makes me happy and everything. So I can't really get shaken in that sense just because I play a character. The character for me is an emotional catharsis. It's an emotional way of putting something out there because I'm very highly emotional person. So I use these things and these characters to put all of those things out there. But not the other way around. That reverse sort of osmosis shouldn't happen. And even if it does, I don't think the character is to blame or the work is to blame. It means you are identifying with that pain, and that's pretty much your personal problem.
Okay. And one of the posters that you shared, it had a tagline that said, hope can be a dangerous thing. Now, what I find interesting is that hope is a word with positive connotations. And even even as the legendary dialogue from Shawshank Redemption goes, that hope is a good thing. Perhaps it's best of the things. So when does, in your opinion, hope turns dangerous?
It's actually not so much to be analyzed that critically. You will know what that actually means when you watch the show. So when you watch the show, you will know for that character what hope means and what it makes her do. You'll know that when you watch the show. So it is very much just about the character. It is. I don't think it's a sort of a general statement. Hope is a danger. It's not. It's definitely not a general statement. It's each of those statements actually say more about that character. So each poster, when you see a statement, it gives you a little hint actually about that character and what that character is gonna, pan out to be.
Okay. And it's also in the craft of acting, you also borrow or kind of it's all about acting and reacting to your fellow co-star also. So was there any incident wherein you kind of imbibed a trait from Abhishek Bachchan while playing the part, from his personality as Abhishek Bachchan, or from his character also?
There's always that, when you're acting, I always see the person in that moment as the person that, if I'm Abba and he's Avi, then I see Avi in that person, whoever he is in front of me. I see that. So I'm reacting and responding always to the person in front of me. It sort of happens very spontaneously. Even with Amit, I remember shooting a scene with Amit, and by the end of it, we were like, wow, that was really fantastic. And both of us felt it because there was such a strong give and take of energy that we were both just, responding so well to each other. So that always happens. And both Amit and Abhishek were really, good actors who gave me that, feeling that, yes, these people are, so we're always reacting to that personality that you see in front of you.
Cool. So with that, we have reached the end of our conversation. I would like to know, is there anything, if I may have missed to ask as a question, and you would have liked to answer?
No, as long as you're happy.
Cool. So that was a wonderful chat. Thanks a lot for Nithya for talking to us, and I wish you all the best for the second season. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Please watch it.
Yes, sure. Bye-bye.
Bye.